Good morning, everyone. This is Amanda Ellis, and it is the 28th of September 2019. Sorry, I'm just writing something down. And I'm going to be doing a video today on Dolores Cannon. And this is a video that has been hovering for a little while. She is also a soul that has come into my energy field via a different way from the others that I've channeled so far. And it came in actually via a request from Candice Craw Goldman. And I'll put Candice's details below on this video because I don't really know anything to do with the system of QHHT, quantum healing. I don't know any of its history, but I do know Candice, and she came we sort of linked up relatively recently. And then I can't remember when it was, but a few weeks ago she contacted me and I think said something along the lines of, I feel Dolores wants to come through and say something to you. Well, there was just a link between the three of us. So I've sat with it for a little while, and I've also had to get over some of my initial resistance based on the fact that I've never read, I'm just going to say it here now, I've never read a single one of Dolores Cannon books. I obviously know who she is, but I've never studied under her. And so I know that many people tuning in are going to know an awful lot more about Dolores than I do. And so there was this feeling with me in terms of, well, why are you wanting me to come forward and speak about some of the things that people are going to be asking about based on your work when I've not read it? And the likelihood is I'm probably not going to read it, which is nothing to do with it not being fantastic work. It's to do with the fact that I'm a busy working mum myself. I have very little free time, and the free time I do have tends to be hopefully maybe going for a swim or doing some cooking or something like that. So I sat with it, and anyway, Dolores hasn't gone anywhere. And this week I've had a few challenges within my own professional working life, working with spirit and some of the flack that I've been getting. And Dolores has been a very steady presence. And what effectively happened was that it got to a point where I felt like I had to call in my soul tribe for extra support for the work that I do myself. And it was like a light bulb moment where I realised that Dolores was one of those people that was here to help me and also you that are watching. And then this morning, I felt that I wanted to go and reach for a deck that I don't use very often, which is called Work Your Light by Campbell. And I just shuffled it and I thought, okay, Dolores, give me a card then. And I was actually thinking about the fact that I know she was a mum, so we have that in common. And I believe she also started her work quite late after her child, Julia, was grown up. And so I was just thinking about that and wondering what she was like as a mum. And I suspect I was feeling a lot of qualities of patience coming through with her. And then this card fell out of the deck. And it's the card of Star Mother. And I just think it's so perfect for Dolores' energy, which is that she's coming to us very much as this energy, Star Mother. I also think that she held, and I don't know whether she talked about this, because I don't know whether she talked about a lot of things. That's the whole point. I'm just going to come through with whatever she wants to bring through via me as a channel. But what I'm picking up is I know she talked a lot about the galactics and extraterrestrials, but I'm picking up a very strong link with Mother Mary. Funnily enough, I was listening to somebody else channeling Mother Mary for the first time today. David Johnson, actually. I was looking at his work. And I channel Mother Mary as well. That's why I was drawn to it. And then I pick this card for Dolores. And it's very much the energy of Mary. So I do feel as though she carried that and still carries that energy. In fact, I feel she's saying she carries it maybe even more than she did when she was alive now, which is that she's asking, she's offering her energy to those of us maybe that have got difficult relationships with our own mothers or unresolved wounds. And oh yes, okay, I'm realising now why I'm having to do this today. We're about to have a new moon, which has got a link to Chiron. I'm just looking for my astrology diary because I'm totally unprepared. I didn't realise I was going to be talking about the moon. Well, I'm not in any great detail. I just want to mention that the moon tomorrow on the 28th has got a link to Chiron, the wounded healer. And a lot of us who go into this work have wounds, and a lot of them stem from childhood. I've got wounding linked to my own mother, who's still alive, and who I love dearly, but hasn't been the easiest relationship and still isn't. And so I'm seeing now how perfect it is that Dolores is coming through today with this energy of Star Mother. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight in. I'm going to bring her across the Rainbow Bridge, which is my way that I connect to souls the other side of the veil. And I'm going to ask you to feel into her energy as well. And then we're going to just see what she wants to say. But I do think there's something coming up here about mothering. Okay. So I work with the energy of Archangel Metatron. It's very important to me that my work is guided by him, so that who comes through is who they actually are. So let's just call in Archangel Metatron. I use a spray that we make called the Rainbow Bridge, which helps to connect to the other side of the veil, as I call it. Or we could just say the next room, because that's all it really is. Okay, they're all just in the next room, the next dimension that we can't yet see, but yet we can feel and we can tap into. So I'm just going to spray the Rainbow Bridge around me. And I'm just going to ask us to connect to wherever we are watching this, and to put our feet down into Mother Earth and to connect to this present moment and this time. But really we know that time is eternal, and time is not what we think it is either. Time is not lateral. And so Metatron is building us this beautiful Rainbow Bridge. And the Rainbow Bridge goes from where you are sitting right now or standing, and it reaches up high, high, high into the stratosphere above. It reaches high, high, high into other dimensions beyond our understanding, beyond our five senses. And it goes higher than I've seen it go before. It's a really high bridge. Wow. So as the bridge forms, and as I say, I've never seen it so tall, we notice that the bridge then starts to flow down into another place. And it is from this other place that Metatron, Archangel Metatron, calls in Dolores to come to be with us and spend some time with us today. And because this bridge is so high that has been built, she is coming forward across the Rainbow Bridge. But I'm seeing her, I guess this must have been how she was towards the latter part of her life. And she has some sort of walking aid that she is carrying. Well, not carrying, she's using. It's like a staff. And she is using it to basically climb up this very high bridge until she's at the top of it, where you and I are. And this, what I first thought was like a walking stick, actually now I'm seeing as a staff. And it is very much linked into the staff that you see on the Hermit card in the tarot. And it's to do with the wise one who carries a staff to help them on their path. So it feels as though wherever she's come from, we'll ask her in a moment, it's as though she's still teaching because she's carrying the staff. It's almost as though she's carrying it from the dimension she's been in. So she's now at the brow of the bridge where we are. And the first thing I'm feeling is some humour and some lightheartedness coming through. Because I'm wanting to say, and it feels as though all of us are saying it, you, me, Metatron and Dolores, it's this thing about, I hope nobody's frightened of heights. Because it's like, whoa, we are really high. And we can really see things from a very bird's eye view. This isn't like just sort of standing on the top of a roof and looking down. This isn't even like looking out of an aeroplane window and looking down. This isn't even like if we were in a spaceship looking down. This is much higher than that. But Metatron's saying it's okay. He will help us to acclimatize to this higher stratosphere where we all are. And he's saying it's as natural to you as being able to put your head underneath water upon the earth, okay? So he's saying there is nothing to be frightened of. And he's got us on this beautiful bridge. And I'm just wanting to look at the colours that Dolores has come in on. She's coming in on the blue ray, is what I'm wanting to say. Her side of the bridge that she's climbed up is, I'm just seeing lots of blues. Lots of blues. Blue is it's a colour which has got lots of different tones within it. So I'm just trying to get a handle on the tone of blue that she's coming in on. I wanted to say China blue. It's actually, it's not navy blue, it's like a China blue ray. And it's very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. Okay, so firstly, I just want to welcome Dolores to our space. And there is a bench, which there always is, on the brow of the Rainbow Bridge, which Metatron has prepared. And it's actually, I'm seeing the bench condensed now into a single seat, a very simple single seat. And she's saying that it's like she doesn't need any fuss. She just needs her seat. And there she is. Okay. So let's just spend a moment just connecting into her energy for you to feel it before we ask her any questions. So we're just going to have, 30 seconds, a minute of silence just for you to connect to Dolores sitting. And I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting opposite her, meeting her eye to eye as an equal, with Metatron there and with me there also. We're all there together. It's a very sacred space. Take a deep breath in and out. It's like we're sitting on a cloud. That's what it feels like. It feels like we're sitting on a cloud. And I can't help but feel there's a link to the last channeling that I did, which was George Harrison. And it was about sitting on cloud number 9. So there's just, again, she's got quite a nice little dry sense of humour going on here. So welcome, Dolores. What is it that you wish to share with us today? It is so lovely to be back, able to talk to you freely. Without the constraints of me having to get into an aeroplane or travel to do so. The Rainbow Bridge mode of transportation is so much easier than when I used to have to travel around the globe to meet so many of you, which I so enjoyed doing. But in the environment that we now find ourselves in, this is a better means to be able to communicate to you. I wanted to come forward to tell you that everything is okay. That what was prophesied years ago and talked about is now happening. And rather than to go into fear with regard to this, the creation of new earth, to breathe deeply and to feel the sense of anticipation and excitement that is actually in the air. This sense of anticipation and excitement is not just upon the earth plane with those who are awake and with eyes to see, ears to hear, and hearts to sense the change that is upon us. No. This anticipation and excitement is also ringing out through many different dimensions and many different times and through all of space at the arrival of new earth within the greater solar systems. And that is right, I do say systems, not system. The arrival of new earth, which you are walking through together. And indeed, there are painful contractions at this present moment in time. But we are watching and we are applauding and we are telling you to breathe through each contraction, to conserve your energy, to know when is the time to push and when is the time to pause. There is a lot of pushing at this moment in time to force through the changes, to want to accelerate the transformation sooner than is truly possible, because all things have a divine time. That is true of death, and that is true of birth. There is a time for each cycle, and God and greater consciousness is in control of what and when and how. So from a human perspective, breathe and allow yourself to relax into the divine order through which everything is happening right now. Can you feel the peace and tranquility that comes when you allow yourself to do that, rather than trying to push or fight or cajole situations, people, energies that are not quite yet ready to shift? Everything shifts in divine timing, in a divine way. Let this be our new mantra. Okay, so Dolores, I'd like to ask you now about this transition then from 3D Earth to 5D Earth. And I'm looking up at my ceiling because there's a reflection of a little heart which must be coming up from one of my colour bottles, but it's in the shape of a heart. So it's this rainbow energy that I'm sensing. So why am I seeing the rainbow here? I know we're on the rainbow bridge, but this feels like something different. The rainbow heart. The rainbow heart. Okay, she's talking about the heart chakra, and how the heart chakra is becoming, or will become, more able to hold all of the frequencies of colour. And okay, so this is interesting, Dolores, because this video has been made, I don't know, less than 24 hours after I put quite a heartfelt video up. And I'm seeing now the chronology of everything and how perfect everything is. I put a little video up, Dolores, which you know anyway, I know, I'm just telling the people watching, about how important it is to keep our hearts open. And it was based on somebody that had died in my life, and it was important to keep our hearts open even when we feel sad. And so now I'm seeing the rainbow heart, or she's presenting a rainbow heart to me and saying that all of our heart chakras need to become filled with the rainbow. But she's saying the rainbow, of course, is made up, isn't it, of both sunshine and rain. You can't have a rainbow heart unless the rainbow has been made, and the rainbow is made with both sunshine and rain. This refers to the human condition, which is that into every life a little rain must fall. But equally, into every life also sunshine will come back out. And I felt such a strong pull today to do this video, Dolores, as well, because the sun is shining in my room. And I wanted to capture the energy of it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best lighting for a video, but I just really wanted to capture the energy of the sun. So there's something about the rainbow heart. She says all of the great masters that have gone before have known about the healing power of colour to illuminate and to transform and to heal anything within the body. But she's saying it all starts from the heart. To have a healthy heart is to have a healthy body. And so therefore we need to be welcoming in the rainbow rays in all of their multicolours into all parts of our heart. Opening up not just to the colours of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet, but also opening the heart up to ultraviolet rays of colour that we cannot see with our human eye. She's using ultraviolet light in terms of the quality of the colour, translucence, brilliance, iridescent light that we can see sometimes with our third eye, but we can't always see with our physical eyes. But she says the heart can see these colours. The heart can see them even if the eyes can't. And the power of being out in natural light is very important at this time to recalibrate our light bodies. She's saying because light, she's making a link here with Dr. Masaru Emoto, who, one thing I do know about Dolores, one of the things I know about her is I believe that she died the same year, if not quite linked to Dr. Masaru Emoto. I think they died within, I don't know whether it was days, weeks or months of each other. They died quite close together, Dolores and Dr. Masaru Emoto. Now, Dr. Masaru Emoto is one of my guides anyway. I talk about his teachings quite a bit on my videos and the power of water to hold intention. But Dolores is now talking about the power of light also has that ability to hold information. So she's saying very much like Dr. Masaru Emoto taught us that water carries energy, and that water, when consciously ingested and drank into the body, helps us be that. It helps us be the quality of the water that we're drinking if we infuse it with love. She's saying so too the energies of light. So she's saying it's very important that it's not just to do with beautiful sunlight, it's also to do with the qualities of dusk and of midnight skies themselves. To realise that if you stand underneath midnight skies of darkness actually what you're doing, if you consciously do it, is you can call in the energies of transformation, of entering into a void-like state, which is the birthplace of creation energies. Also linking into the safety that can come from the darker light as well. It can offer protection, and it's to do so it's to do with all qualities of light, not just a beautiful sunny day like I've got today, but also to do with different days. Every single day, what she's saying, every single day the light has a different quality. She's saying on some days the quality of that light is better than others. I'm sort of getting a link to solar flares coming in and things like that. But she's saying truly there are gifts within the light every single day, but she's wanting us to tune in to how light feels, the light around us when we go outside in nature. Tune in to what it's trying to say to us, what it's trying to communicate to us, what it's trying to gift to our body, and where on any particular day that light needs to go. So as an example now, the sunlight coming in to me, which I'm feeling just sort of dappling in. It's quite interesting. The sunlight is now feeling like it's dappling in. It's a day of sunshine and cloud, so it feels as though the sun has slightly gone muted, but I can still feel its rays. So what is that doing to our body? It feels very gentle, in the same way that yesterday when I went outside, there was rain, but it wasn't like the rain I've been describing in previous videos where it's like a sudden downpour and monsoon, and I was almost feeling a sense of panic with it. I've talked about that on another video recently. This soft rain that I felt yesterday, it felt so soothing, it felt so calming, it felt so kind. The rain felt kind, the water element felt kind on that particular moment when I stood underneath it yesterday, versus how it felt 2 days ago. She's saying it's exactly the same thing that you do with light. You go out, you stand in light, and you feel into what is it trying to communicate with me? What is it trying to give me? What is it trying to heal? Where does it need to consciously go within my body? She's saying because light doesn't just fall on our shoulders and our face and our back and warm our bones. Light is able to travel into the deepest, darkest recess within our body, that unhealed place. We're back to Chiron now, and the unhealed part of us, the wounded part of us, the wounded healer. Let the light go to that part. And even if it can just get in a crack, allow it to come in, because then it transforms the greater whole. It transforms the pain. You are light. You need to be consciously working with light in the same way that you have been, many of you watching this have been consciously working with water. We haven't been working with light as consciously as we need to, coming into the energies of New Earth. New Earth is going to be about new light, new dawn for New Earth. Need to start to get a grip with this. She said there's a lot of teaching to come forward with this. And I do feel she'll bless me with some of that information, not just me, other people watching, but my history is I'm a colour teacher, and colour is light. Okay, light is colour's part of the light spectrum. So there seems to be a lot of information to come on that, but that maybe is for another day. This feels like an introductory video to her energy working with me. So that's really interesting. Thank you for that, Dolores. Yes, because she's saying to me now, think about a spotlight. Think about a spotlight, and how a spotlight can be either fantastic because it illuminates something that you can't see, and it brings your attention to something, it puts focus on something, or it can be something actually which is like you don't want the spotlight put there. You don't want the light shone onto that dark corner. So she's saying it's all about perception. It's all about how you view light, how you work with light. And it's interesting, isn't it, that this deck that I've pulled out today is called Work Your Light. Okay, so let's pull another card from the deck. Love it. I love it. Okay, work your light. Absolutely, work your light. That's what we've all got to start doing. She's saying because so many of us aren't working our light. It's as though because of our unhealed wounds, we're working our shadows. That's what we're doing. We're working our shadows, or we're working our ego, or we're working the unwounded parts of ourselves. We're doing anything other than working our light. And it's time that we started to work our light. What does that mean? It's about shining. It's about getting out there. It's about not being afraid of expressing the deep truths that you have within yourself. It's about shining the essence of who you are. Every single person is a different quality of light, because every single person on this planet is a different quality of God. God is light. Light is all there is. And then there was light. You know, was it the seventh day of creation? Can't remember, but you know, she's showing me that passage, the creation story. And then there was light. From the void there was light. You are all an expression of the light. You need to be that. You need to show that. You need to demonstrate that. You need to not be frightened of that. Wow, what a powerful card. Look at this. I was just saying, she was just saying, sorry, when I'm channeling, I don't always remember exactly what's come through. What I think Dolores was just saying was something along the lines of we work our shadows very magically. We're very good at working our fear and dancing around our fear and giving into our fear and not doing things and all of that type of stuff. And that's almost like represented by this very sort of dark energy all around. But look at that. That's the gateway. That's what we're being invited to do, to not concentrate on this so much, to concentrate on this gateway that is leading us to the light. But the light basically is leading us to ourselves. That light through that gateway is new earth. We are invited to go through there, but it's an initiation. This card is called the initiation. It's called the rite of passage. It's called crossing the threshold. How many of us want to stay in that safe, dark place where maybe we can't be seen? Maybe it feels safe. Maybe we feel we won't be challenged there. Maybe we can hide. Maybe we can just sort of tick through our, 7, 8, 9, 10 decades that we've got on this earth or less. And we can just sort of grit our teeth and get through it, you know? On a bad day, sometimes that's how it feels, you know? Just let's ride it out. But to be honest, look at what you are missing. Look at what you're missing. This is what Dolores is inviting us to do, to get through this portal. This could almost be like a birth portal again, into the light, to dance with that, to be that. And what gets, what are you trying to say? Sorry, about initiation. Let me ask her about initiation. Initiation. You've all done this before, she's saying. You've all done this before. In different places, in different galaxies, in different timelines. You've all made this jump before. You've all done this. You can do this. This doorway that feels so distant and so hard to navigate and get through to this sort of paradise type energy on the other side. Because you've done it before. You can do it again. You will do it again. I can't think of a better illustration of old Earth. Look how dark that feels. How dark it feels. Who wants to stay there? Do you want to stay there? I don't. I want to get into this. How do we get there, Dolores? Some of us are already there, I appreciate. She's saying, even those of you that are there, she said, remember that the gateway's sort of open. So on a bad day, you can sort of drift back into old ways of being. So how do we stay in new earth energy? How do we stay in new earth energy? And for some reason, I want to pick up a clear quartz as I'm talking about this. So clear quartz feels a very powerful energy to help support us with manifesting new earth, but also embodying it. She's saying it's linked into the crystalline body. And for the crystalline body to be born and to thrive within you, we are because what is happening is we are basically transforming from a carbon-based body to a crystalline body. She says, I've talked about this in my work. For us to thrive, she's wanting me to say to thrive within a crystalline body, you have to treat it with respect. The crystalline body is what survives the energies within New Earth. She says it's hard to go into New Earth and thrive there if you take in a very leaden body. And she's talking about a leaden body in terms of many different things. What we put into it in terms of diet, but equally what we put into it in terms of thoughts and feelings, but also what we hang on to, So a crystalline body is one whereby, of course, things are going to come to us that will still trigger us in 5D. It's still a learning process. The 5D process is still a learning process. It's not nirvana. But it's to do with the ability to be able to throw off those energies more readily, to be able to not identify with them and let them be integrated into you so that they become toxic and corrosive. Instead, the crystalline body is able to dissolve negativity, toxic attacks, and transmute lower energies that are directed at it. So she's talking about the external and the internal. Internal maintenance of the crystalline body, which we have and we are becoming, seems to be intrinsically linked to the elements, because she keeps showing me the element of air, the air that we breathe, which includes light, as I've talked about already, and water. I'm very aware, of course, there are other elements, but at the moment, maybe just in today's video, she's concentrating very much on the elements of water and air. Yeah, she's concentrating on the elements of water and air more than anything. The crystalline body responds to light. The crystalline body responds to colour. The crystalline body responds to positive affirmations. The crystalline body responds to love and love again. The crystalline body responds to something I talk about all the time, clear boundaries, she's saying. Okay. Show me a healthy crystalline body, Dolores. Earthbound crystalline body. What it looks like. A truly healthy crystalline body from head to toe. Okay, wow. Okay, it's almost as though the body and the aura are combined as one. I mean, there is still a physical body because we're earthbound and we have to have a body to walk around in. But it's as though the outlines and the margins of it, the edges of it blur. It's hard to distinguish what I'm being shown here, the outline of the body from the aura. It's just, I can see it, but it's almost like, it almost feels like what I'm seeing as the outline of the physical body looks more like an imprint, a memory imprint. I know that sounds weird, but that's what I'm being shown. And I'm just seeing this enormous light. Because she's saying you are that. In essence, that's what you are. That's what all of us are. We are just pure light. But yet we identify with, you know, the way we look and the face and the hair and the skin and all of this. But really, if you could just see your hair, for example, just as light, pure light. Light taking a form that looks like this. If you could see your skin, just as light that takes a form that looks like this. If you could feel the bones within you and just realize they are just an expression of light that has taken that form in different densities of frequency, but all light. You are all light. We are all light. Identify with the light. Identify with the light in other people. Be that. Be that for a world that so sorely needs it at this moment in time. To see the light, to be the light. That's why you came. That's why you're here. And you question and you wonder how to do it and where to do it and what to do. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be. Be the best light that you can be. And some days that light may be quite small. Other days it will be vast and magnificent. But it does not matter because many come together and we are all one. The little lights contributes to the bigger lights that overlights the whole planet. We see, you see, what you cannot. We see the vibration of Earth. We see the light that is emitted from Earth. And believe you me, that light is bigger and brighter than it was 1 year ago. Is so much brighter than it was 2 years ago. Is of a different caliber to how it was 10 years ago, let alone 100 or 1,000 years ago. But yet that light, even 1,000 years ago, it was dormant within the earth. It was still there. It could still be seen from spirit at higher level. Make no mistake about it, your earth is ascending. Your earth is brighter. Your earth is lighter. But yet, so many people, including what we would call light workers, are still concentrating on just the darkness that they can see. They are being transfixed and trapped by stories linked into darkness, linking into evil, rather than concentrating on the light. Let the darkness do its thing. The darkness has always done its thing. In a planet of duality, that is what happens. But yet you were born with the choice. In terms of which master do you serve? Be the light. Be the light. Be the light. Okay. I'm going to have some water now, and then I'm going to ask Dolores about a message on mothering. She's telling me off a little bit. She's saying, drink your water consciously. They can wait. Each time you drink, slow your breath. Enjoy the water. Imbue it with a quality. Don't gulp it down. Don't gulp the air either. There is enough for all. Okay. Hi everyone, sorry my battery died. I actually feel that this is a good place to leave this video today, and I am going to come back to working with Dolores more in videos to come. So I think what I will do is I will open it up to questions in the next one. I'll let you know when I'm going to be channeling her again. And for now, it just feels complete. So I'm going to pull one more card just to finish, and then we will thank her for her time. She's very aware that I'm a mum and that I've got things that I need to do with my own children today, being a Saturday. So let's just pull one more card and then we'll come back to her another time. One more card then, please, Dolores. Play, yeah. It's like the vibration of play. And the thing I want to say about this is that this energy of play, can you see that she's playing in the light? There's this huge sun. There are all these beautiful rays dancing. And because of that, there is this invitation to play in the light. And I feel as though that's what I'm wanting to do now, which is that I want to get out in that light and play in it. And then we will do other teachings to come, okay? So the vibration of play, to remember to play, to not be so very serious the whole time, okay? All right, so let's just thank Dolores for her time today. And just thanking you for being here, Dolores, allowing her just now to go back across the Rainbow Bridge. And it's like this lovely wave, this flow, and she just flows back from where she came from. And then we are at the brow, and Metatron is just guiding us back down. Remember, we were in a very high place, so guiding us back down until we are back on the earth. Okay, and we just connect to the energies of earth underneath our feet. Ground that and be that. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And whatever light that you've got going on around you today, get out in it, feel the vibration of it, integrate it, and play. Okay, I'm just going to spray the earth spray just to make sure we're all properly grounded, and then we'll be back soon. So the earth elemental, let's just breathe in some grounding energy. Namaste, everybody. That was fun. We'll be back talking to her again soon. Much love. Bye for now.